Yo, back again. So basically everyone's bored as fuck is what this chart says. No one knows what they're doing, everyone doesn't know what to do, everyone's doing the wrong thing, everyone's rushing. PA, as you can see, is compressed. I've started on the weekly because you can see we're building up liquidity both sides of the market since July. Here we haven't ran a previous week's low. Now while this is soul destroying, not really doing much, we've not moved, we're in our third week, we're still inside this candle's range, we've not done anything. We've had body closes below, inside the wick, below the 50%, rallied back above. We're compressed. Now, in my opinion, and what I generally see, and certainly what I'm anticipating, is this is gonna blow one side or the other, in my opinion. I'm still sitting on, I'm looking up here, but what I want to see from this now is I want to see a flush on either side of the market. I want to see a liquidity grab. So the liquidity grab I'm after doesn't have to be the full range, it can just be one of the previous weeks. Now we're going to use the literally the previous week's low and high for this. This is where I want to see a reaction. This is going to be for me where I will predominantly get involved in a longer term trade. Drop down to the daily, we can see them levels here that I've mapped out. Obviously one and the two, there's them two levels. This is the previous week, I should have put them in blue, so we'll just highlight them so they look a little bit different. Actually we'll just fuck them off totally. Keep them to the weekly, we don't need that on hours, making a mess. Drop down to the day, no, they're still on because I'm an absolute degenerate. What am I doing? Why is it still on? Why is it still there? Oh, it's the same thing, you idiot. Yeah, on it. That was sell side, that was looking for the breaker. That last week, pretty much last week's chart is still playing out in my opinion. Yes, we tagged the 50% level over here on a downward trend, but we didn't take out any levels of liquidity. We've seen a bounce, we failed to roll into that, and then the market opened and we've seen a rally. In my opinion, this trade's still within the same context. We're just seeing a sharp retrace, taking out internal range liquidity. Yes, we have a bug in the house. It's cough and sickness, fantastic. Excuse if I cough. As you can see, we've took out all internal range liquidity. So for me, not being a fucking boo-hoo, fucking whatever, this to me is, I'm only interested in shorts here. I'm only interested in taking out these lows, get into the previous week's lows, get some volatility. I'm not interested in looking at this as its strong bullish context, because in my opinion the market is only reaching for that internal range level of liquidity over here. I bet if we fib from this high to that low and we get the OTE, I mean, we have to zoom in on fucking James Webb's telescope to see that didn't touch, but come on, we pretty much hit the sweet spot of the range. We've taken out internal range liquidity. That is not bullish for me. That's not where I look for longs. This is where I would look for shorts. Yes, the market could reach the top, but if we reach the top and take out buy side of this range, then my way of thinking is not a breakout, but price is going to reverse and goes in the opposite direction. When you take out buy side liquidity, you want to trap breakout traders in their positions. How do you trap them in their positions? Well, you sink the market, you sink the range. We're playing this range at the moment. We're playing 653 to 624. That is the range we're playing. So if we go down to the 4, that's there, yeah, 653, 724. We are playing that range. So if you, let's say I'm looking at this, we've seen an OT retrace in a bearish higher time frame PD array. We're hitting 50% of the daily breaker. We've took buy side liquidity out of the highest candle on in the internal range. Yeah, at the minute, yeah, this could be a short. I'm not too interested in the minute. You know the drill with me. I want to see a shift in market structure before I get short. Like I said, we could go for buy side. Don't have to short here. We could go for buy side, but I'm waiting for a trigger. Little shift in market structure, and I'll be shorting this, and I'm looking to get down to that 6.2 level. As I said in the previous video, if we do start to break out, we don't SFP the tops, then there is potential of this rally and above. But for me, the market is showing compression. It's showing signs of wanting everyone to play their hands first. It wants as many participants in this range going long, going short. The levels of liquidity will be building both sides. So that's why, in my mind, if we take out one side of liquidity first, they will target the opposite side. If it goes for the highs, people will exit the shorts, go for the longs, chasing the breakout. Market will reverse, go for the previous week's low. Everyone will sell positions and everyone won't know what they're doing. Thrown in a tumble dryer and launched out the other end. That's what I think is going to happen. That's what I'm anticipating. I could very well be wrong, but we will see. Like I said, pretty much the same as last week's video, same sort of context, using that daily breaker as my level. Invalidation is at the top. No short as of yet. I am waiting for a trigger on that one. Obviously, we've got days of the week for now looking for a high. We got an early, again, Sunday. Actually, weekends highs and lows, since I said they don't hold. So Saturday's low held, Sunday's low held, Sunday's low held. 3 weekends on the bounce. The weekend high or low was held. They are fucking with all of us. I am telling you. Crazy. Oh, it's very blurry on this screen. Just noticed. Look. Anyway, that's pretty much same sort of concepts. BTC, like I said, weekly tells more of the story, in my opinion. You can see how compressed it is. Even for people like me, you're coming on trying to do content, you're looking at the same sort of chart, you're thinking what's going on. It's just compression. Compression will lead to a major move in expansion, in my opinion. This is just being compressed, being manipulated, being held. They're waiting for a catalyst, and they're waiting for a trigger, and waiting for a reason to send this. Like I said, one or the other side will be taken prior to it ripping in the opposite direction. Hopefully it's in our favour. Hopefully we take out sell side, hit the 62 level. Whether we hit lower than that, who knows, but once we hit that 62 level, then in my opinion we're going to see a sharp reverse. Vice versa at the highs. Go for the highs, I think they'll go for the lows, then maybe we go up. Opposite would be going for the lows, then going for the highs, then if possible we go up, retest, and then go again, structure and break. Because remember, I've always said I need to see the breakout here for me to be content with saying it's a bottom. I will if it feels fit, if I see, but in my opinion, what I'm thinking longer term is take out the lows, run the highs, one more low, even if it's just take out this. That's ideally what I'm thinking. Whether we get down to these 50k lows, I'm unsure we get down to these levels. Like I said, at the minute we're playing it in and around the consequent encroachment area of this very, very sensitive area. There is potential for JP, you'll like this one, a head and shoulders to form. So there's potential of that 60k, but in my opinion, I'm more looking at this. I'm more looking rally, take both sides out of the market, trap everyone into thinking this is long, fill in the inefficiency, the imbalance over here, reject one more low, and following this, then it's go. What I'm anticipating, I'm not in. I've never really cared which way. I certainly don't care anymore which way around. I am positioned pretty much in spot. I've been buying alts for forever. Still loading, no fear. Every Sunday, get in there, get the bag secured, get it ready, get it off exchanges. Try and use one that's not being fucking hacked at the moment. But yeah, still loading, not scared. Even doesn't worry me. Even though I'm strongly thinking we're going to make a new low. I am still buying spot. I'm not that stubborn to think that that's what's going to happen. I could be totally wrong. I could be totally wrong, and either this could fucking sink to 20k, and I'm buying. Then I'm going to look fucking stupid. But yeah, BTC is being a bitch. We need to move. It needs liquidity. Think of it like a camel. Camel's thirsty, needs drink, needs water. Liquidity is what we need. It needs to take a sip, get off its arse, and go north. That's what we want it to do. At the minute, it's doing fuck all. Excuse the French. But anyway, that is BTC. So yeah, daily breaker inside that level at the minute. Like I've just mentioned, get the Fibonacci tool on that. That's just this swing. If you obviously fib the full though, we're going to be hitting the 7. Look at that, perfect. But using it, yeah. I mean, I see people use that one. I see people use this one. I see people do that. It's totally up to you. I normally like to use this leg. So hitting OT of the range as well, up above that 50%. 618, so we're in a high level anticipation for the shorts. Inside the daily breaker at 50%. All internal range liquidity has gone. 50% of the imbalance is still there to be taken. We do not need to hit that, by the way. There is no need whatsoever. And yeah, looking for that 62 200 level. Sweep this, following then we go hella north. That's what's on the cards. I will pray that happens. We all want that to happen. We all want this to get moving. We want to see some excitement. ETH is being nuclear sister. I don't know which one looks worse actually. I mean, technically they both look the same, don't they? Same sort of context, you know what I mean? ETH's the same sort of thing. I do think we've got power of 3 playing out here. I have mentioned this a few times. You can see it on the weekly. Consolidation, manipulation, manipulation, distribution, see expansion. Hopefully that plays out, it'll be nice. $2,500 again in the daily breaker. Nothing really much change on that. ETH last week was the week of the two, in my opinion. Obviously, new weekly candle, new structure, still the same. I think it's being held. ETH BTC pair's probably sinking a little bit, so that's going to have effect on the market. Bitcoin dominance is rallying, which shows, to be fair, in the USD pair. It looks a little bit sloppy, doesn't look too exciting. Looks like Cinderella is not going to the ball anytime soon. Again, this is going to be dependent on what BTC does. This is why I'm mainly focused on BTC most of the time, because it's still up in the high 50s. To see alteration, like we are seeing alts popping. We've seen Casper do, I think one of the lads said today, it's 70% off the lows. Yeah, that's good. 112. That's actually insane. Kudos to anyone who bought that, but still, if we go to November, December's high to now, we're still 50%. It's still a good buy. If you've got big kahunas, massive, like kahunas, you go in. No fear, both feet. So they are popping, they are moving. This is why we buy them. This is why we're buying. This is why we're buying Valid. I'm not whoa. I must have been stoned when I put that on. That's needs to see some movement. But yeah, it's BTC's the one. We want this to move. We need this to sneeze. We need level of liquidity taken. We need it to move sharpish. Once we get the movements, we are going to get a better direction. We're either going to be right or we're going to be wrong. Regardless, even if we do make a new low, it's only got to run until the end of the year, in my opinion. At most, we either do one or two things. Forget what we did. We either rally, make a new low, going into December, we just go fucking yeehaw, V-shape reversal, everyone's happy, the divorce stress is over, got over that, things are starting to go up. Or we get a lovely expansion, nice structure, and we get a retest going into the back end of the year, then we go. Either way, in my opinion, is going north. Everyone's calling low. Everyone always calls lower at the lows, like everyone always calls highs at higher at the highs. It happens. We need some volatility coming in the market, and then everyone can start fucking acting normal. But with that, I am going to cut that because we're at 18 minutes. So yeah, pretty much the same as last week. Inside that daily breaker is what I'm looking at. I'm looking for shorts. I'm looking to take out the previous week's low. I want to see 62,300 level first. That is what I want to see first. I am going to be looking for shorts. Me and validation's going to be above this high, so if you want to come get me stopped, fucking go and get it. As always, keep cool, keep calm, collected. See you in the next one.